John Chipman, welcome once again to the Tropical Beat. We want to thank you. This is for me to give you the biggest hug ever because you've added so much to my life and to our audience lives.
Well, it's a pleasure to be on Tropical Beat. And I hope all you out there that see this Tropical Beat enjoy it because it tells history of the island and our culture. It's something you must see, and we love you all out there.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news, tourism officials and the Ministry for Grand Bahama still networking in North Carolina on behalf of Grand Bahama. The Department of Social Services announced new satellite centers to accommodate residents. Plus, doctors concerned about a new respiratory illness affecting young children. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Simone Davis. Thank you so much for watching. Tourism officials and the Ministry for Grand Bahama continuing to tout the message during a 3-day tour in North Carolina that Grand Bahama is open for business. Today, an official sister cities agreement was signed with the city of Concord and the island of Grand Bahama, while the promotion of the Ministry of Tourism's global sales mission continue. Our Aja Quant is traveling with the team and has tonight's top story.
Grand Bahama can now call the city of Concord here in North Carolina sister. Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, and Mayor for the city of Concord, William Dush, officially signing the sister city agreement today, binding together a partnership to foster opportunities to residents in both cities. It is an agreement between two cities that connect and liaise for business, cultural, educational, and humanitarian exchange. Minister Moxie noting that the journey to this official agreement was formed in 2014, and now the day has come where both cities can lean on each other to further their mission of revitalizing and expanding.
We're so excited because there's so many things that we see happening from it. We visited the Charlotte Motor Speedway, where it's the home of NASCAR. We know that we had race car driving on Grand Bahama back in the day, and so we look to see some revived form of race car driving on Grand Bahama Island. There's so many opportunities for exchanges with educational institutes like BTVI, technology transfer, best practices, and so we're looking to see how we partner on a number of areas to ensure that Grand Bahama Island benefits and Concord as well.
Meanwhile, Minister Moxie says the mayors of any city in such agreement serves as the connectors for what needs to be done. Mayor Dutch says his city, Concord, is working diligently and it will be of interest to residents on Grand Bahama and the same for residents in Concord.
We're really looking forward to bringing and strengthening the relationship, doing some training up here, doing exchange of programs, exchange of staff going back and forth. We would love to have them come up and visit us, come up for the races, come up to see what we have going up here. It's a beautiful area of the world.
The flights from Charlotte to Freeport will be every Saturday, and Minister Moxie says that this partnership will assist with ensuring that the flights are full. Reporting here in Charlotte, North Carolina, for the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Aja Quant.
Thank you, Azure. Well, with an increase in demand for food assistance on Grand Bahama comes an increase in traffic at the Department of Social Services office as residents tow long lines to receive food vouchers. After mounting concerns and complaints from those residents about the long wait, the department has moved their distribution to satellite centers. Our Shane Stubbs explains where residents can now go to receive their food vouchers.
Officer in charge of the Social Services Department on Grand Bahama, Dorothea Gomez, announced earlier this month that our department sought to address the concerns of residents waiting for hours on long lines by serving senior citizens 1 week ahead of the general public. However, she says that process did not go as smoothly as they expected. And tonight she reveals the new satellite centers where residents can now go to register and receive their food vouchers in hopes of a smoother process.
We were mandated to move our distribution to satellite centers. Hence, the month of August, we commenced off-site distribution at Central Church of God, Coral Road, for the persons residing in Central Grand Bahama and the Eastern District. And for the Western District, persons were seen at Bethel Deliverance Center, Jonestown.
Gomez is pleading with the public to utilize the centers and adhere to the organized, alphabetized system for better service and to avoid the long wait outside of the department's office.
Please, I implore you to come on the days that your surnames are stated for your surnames so that you don't have to wait as long. The last month's distribution on the first day, even though we said it was alphabetized, persons, we had over 400 persons on that very first day. We're doing it alphabetically so to alleviate the long waits and to alleviate the crowds. So we ask you, seniors especially, please cooperate with us as we strive to serve you better.
The OIC also reminds residents of the digital options through the digital platform Canoe, where they can also receive their food coupons.
The gift card is the digital platform, the digital wallet, Canoe, which will, if you are placed on that, you would have to download the app. And it will be under gift card. That's where your funds will be placed. I think by the younger persons, it's working pretty well. But of course, you know, our seniors are still having some difficulties with downloading. So that is why we are still trying to, you have the debit cards as well to give persons the choice.
Distribution will commence for seniors and the disabled on October 24th with surnames beginning with the letters A through E and continue on October 25th for surnames F through J. October 26th for surnames K through P, October 27th for Q through S, and October 28th for T through Z. And for recipients age 59 and younger, distribution will commence on October 31st for surnames A through E, on November 1st for F through J, November 2nd for K through P, November 3rd for Q through S, and November 4th for T through Z. Residents can register daily between 9 a.m. through 1 p.m. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Shane Stubbs.
Thanks, Shane. Well, complaints regarding water challenges on Abaco have recently resurfaced, with some Moores Island residents expressing that water shortages have plagued the island for far too long. The MP for Central and South Abaco, the Honorable John Pinder, responding to those concerns. Pinder revealing that he, along with the chairman for the Water and Sewage Corporation, Sylvanus Petty, will visit the island next week to address this issue. Raven Davis has this update.
That's right, Simone. Member of Parliament for Central and South Abaco, the Honorable John Pinder, contending that while the Moores Island community had been pushed to the back burner for years since assuming office, that island has been a central focus of his. Pinder says he sympathizes with the predicament of Moores Island residents, but asserts that he's working diligently to address various infrastructural challenges.
It has been troublesome that over half a decade that they've had water issues. I know for many years the water's been going off at around 8:30. I have been working very closely with the chairman for the Water and Sewage Corporation in finding out how we can rectify and fix these problems. We've had pumps break down. We've had We've had people on the ground quite a few times. At this point, I know they're trying to facilitate the transport of a drill rig that can accommodate the depth needed to bolster the fields.
Underscoring a close working relationship with the Water and Sewage Corporation, Pinder reveals that in the coming days, he, along with the corporation's chairman, will hit the ground to arrive at the best possible solution. He laments, however, that over the years, the issues have progressed.
As the crews go down there, they are continuously finding more problems that could have been prevented with preventative maintenance over the years, but now it's led up to a plethora of different issues. Right now, today, there's machines on the ground. We're bringing that island to the forefront.
Now, Pinder expressing a firm commitment to reinvigorating Moores Island as a whole, as its challenges transcend water issues.
Furthermore, I have a plan to bring tourism down there. It is a beautiful destination. Once we rectify some of these infrastructure problems, I would like to, after speaking with the residents, we all agree Moores Island's more than just a commercial fisheries island, but more so a destination that can have a bolstering tourism economy as well. And there isn't a single community that's left out. And as I go around to my community meetings, I explain this to the residents. I take their advice.
The water shortage has been chalked up to a capacity issue, where water is essentially turned off as a conservation method for the following day. No specific timeline on just when the problem will be corrected. However, Pinder says the drill rig machine will be transported in a few days. He adds that as with all infrastructural projects, he will continue to liaise with the relevant stakeholders along with constituents to improve living conditions on Abaco. Reporting live in studio for the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Raven Davis. Back to you, Simone.
Thank you so much for that update, Raven. Well, in news from the Health Beat, doctors are now concerned about a new illness on the heels of the COVID-19 pandemic. A new case study reveals that children are now experiencing respiratory trouble post-COVID-19, and doctors are recommending the use of an inhaler to improve breathing. A local medical expert confirms that there has been a spike in younger children suffering from symptoms of respiratory illnesses on Grand Bahama as preschools fight to keep all illnesses at bay. Here's that report.
We have noticed a pretty significant uptick in patients presenting with upper respiratory tract infections to pediatric population.
2.5 years after the breakout of the coronavirus, doctors around the world are now sounding the alarm about surges of other respiratory illnesses, but this time infants and toddlers are the target. Local physician Dr. Leviticus Roll says the spike in illnesses now has parents and pediatricians on high alert to monitor a child presenting symptoms.
Most of these illnesses are bacterial or viral. We do not believe this is a resurgence of COVID-19. These are mild symptoms, rhinorrhea, runny nose, a bit of a cough. What we recommend is the usual precautions, making sure that kids are using hand sanitizers, keeping a distance from other kids. And if your child is exhibiting these signs and symptoms, please keep them home for a few days.
Now, there is no age limit to respiratory illnesses, as anyone can fall victim from infants to adults. However, Dr. Roll agrees with other medical experts who say young children are particularly susceptible because some of them haven't had any exposure to viruses at all due to the global lockdowns and safety mechanisms put in place during the COVID-19 pandemic. He also explains other possible causes for the illnesses.
One is because kids are now just getting back into school, and so this is to be expected. It happens every year. As kids get back in school, they're now exposed to everybody else's pathogens, and so their immune system is being challenged by that. And so we have kids that are coming home with cough and cold and fever and chills.
Principal of Brighter Destiny Christian Preparatory Preschool, Kenny's Adderley, says her school has children from 8 weeks to 4 years old, so her staff takes the safety and wellness of the children very very seriously.
We try to keep sickness away from the school as much as possible. We would, if the child is having a parent some runny nose, or they're not eating their foods well, we would inform the parents, or something, diarrhea or any kind of symptoms of the flu, we would make sure that they would call the parents and make sure they come and pick the child up and keep them out of the environment at that time.
Adderley says while they conduct heavy sanitization daily and practice good hygiene habits, it is also important for the school and parents to work together to protect the children, especially from airborne and bacterial illnesses. Medical professionals from Grand Bahama, New Providence, and the United States assembled at Pelican Bay for the Grand Bahama Medical and Dental Association's annual health conference under the theme Overcoming Healthcare Challenges. President of the association, Dr. Vincent Burton, says as the doctors come together to network and discuss challenges facing the country's healthcare system, the main focus for Grand Bahama is rebuilding the healthcare system that was destroyed by Hurricane Dorian.
These kind of conferences are very important because these kind of conferences open up avenues for us, for instance, to work with doctors outside of the country, and especially for referrals because, in Grand Bahama we don't have all the various specialists. And so by having this type of conference, we're able to have doctors and we're able to meet them in person, have chats with them so that we can refer our patients outside of the country to these doctors from the U.S. hospitals and even in Nassau.
Healthcare professionals from the Doctors Hospital explain why it was so important for the hospital to sponsor the conference.
Challenges in healthcare.
Pleased to be in Grand Bahama. As you know, we are upholding our promise to open up a major health center here in Grand Bahama at the Rockwell Center that you know as the first Caribbean center. And we're hoping that that is opened by fall of next year, 2023.
The conclave will continue tomorrow as medical professionals meet for a second consecutive day. And when we come back, the Swingers Junkanoo group doing its part for the cure. The details of that story, a whole lot more, including the latest in sports when the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, continues.
Come on down. Now.
The Festival of Pizzas has arrived at Pizza Hut Freeport. Try our chicken margarita, grilled chicken Florentine, veggie deluxe, and the carbonara. Did we mention curry chicken pizza? You can also order a large specialty pizza and get a small one-topping pizza free. Pizza Hut Freeport. Dine-in and delivery. Call us at 352-9191. Pizza Hut Freeport.
Come and see the cabinets and countertops in stock now at Specialty Kitchen and Bath, number 16 Oak Street, phone 688-9661.
Hi, I'm Wes. I like to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I would like to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Let us put shoes on your feet.
Harvey's Tech Bargains. Westmont Plaza carries electronics, games, consoles, Fire Sticks, smart TVs, tablets, laptops, accessories, and much more. Phone 602-7657 or 727-6877.
Total Restoration Beauty Salon, Barber, and School was Total Restoration first. Was founded in 2014. Because I got into hair loss, because I was suffering from alopecia. So I began to study oxygen therapy treatment, which helps blood flow to the scalp. Total Restoration is all exclusive. I specialize in hair care. Specialized with hair loss and many different services as of body capitation, butt lift, microblading, teeth whitening, and much more. Detox sauna. We do sell products for hair loss and a range of other different stuff. And we have several different hairstylists specialize in their own field. We are located in the 17 Plaza downtown on the side of Signature Choice.
Here are some tips for having your home ready for a hurricane. Keep all trees and shrubs trimmed. Bring in all outdoor furniture, plants, or any other items that may become airborne due to high winds. Cover windows and doors with hurricane shutters or pre-cut plywood. Clear drains and gutters. And remember to secure important documentation in case you have to evacuate. Don't be caught off guard this hurricane season. Be prepared.
That's what I told her. Bring the winding thing here. This is Rick and Script, so show me emotion. Hey, wine and go down low.
The King of the North is back. Power 104.5 FM.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. Finally in news this evening, Swingers Junkanoo Group is venturing out from the normal New Year's Day parade, honoring breast cancer survivors with a rush out for the cure. The group has been in the Grand Bahama community for over 42 years, and executive members say they are showing that they look forward to building their community.
Some persons do their front-run walks, some do their symposiums and their health clinics, but we, the Swingers, do what we know best. We do Junkanoo. So we're asking our cancer survivors and persons who are battling cancer to come out, lay everything out that night, and join us in this rush as we rush for the cure.
We have an issue now where breast cancer is very prevalent through our society, and we're hoping that we're able to do something and play our part in paying tribute to the fight.
Yeah. So this year, but it never had the...
They're also inviting the survivors and those still fighting to join in the rush. Director of the Cancer Society, Portia Ibram, says the support is always needed and more awareness is always appreciated.
The support is always good. We're going through the Cancer Society, and persons afflicted with cancer is, of course, battling and going through a whole lot with this disease. And so the more attention that's drawn to it is much needed. We are hoping and praying for a cure to be soon, but in the meantime, awareness is important as well as advocacy.
The event is set to happen on October 23rd in the parking lot of the bus stop downtown at 7:30 p.m. And your check on sports is up next with Jay Philippe.
Good evening, I'm Jay Philippe and welcome to sports. High school volleyball action continued yesterday at St. George's Gym, but before we get into that, Container Port held its annual basketball tournament. Let's look at the highlights. The Container Port basketball tournament kicked off at the St. George's Gym on Wednesday. In the first game, Freeport Container Port Southside defeated Freeport Harbor Company 26-17.
I'm really satisfied with the game performance, but we came up with the win. For me, the game was too short, 12-minute running time. Yeah, you can't really very good in the game.
In Game 2, Grand Bahama Power Company got the W against Bahama Rock 35-23.
We thought it very well, it was difficult coming out, getting the guys together in the inception, but, we were able to pull off the win, through trying, just getting the flow of the game. But it went pretty well for our first game, in a long time.
In Game 3, Grand Bahama Port Authority got the win over Buckeye 35-23. Clemente Martin was the top scorer in the losing effort for Team Buckeye. The feature game saw Container Port Northside defeat Team ZNS 39-16. Games will resume this week, action on Saturday. Switching gears now in sports, high school volleyball play continued in the Grand Bahama Secondary School Athletic Association. St. George's Jaguars senior boys defeated Bishop Michael Eldon School in 2 sets, 21-16 and 21-15.
They play good because one of the outstanding players, he was on the bench, and it's a surprise for him to come off the bench and had a good game and keep us inside this game. We try our best not to lose and keep always put God first in everything we do, and we always pray to get the victory.
And that's a quick check on sports, ladies and gents. I'm Jay Philippe. Be blessed.
For designer shoes, sandals, accessories, and handbags, visit Steppin' Out. Now at 2 locations, Old Sam's Plaza, Freeport, and Top of the Hill, Mackey Street, Nassau. Steppin' Out, when you want to put your best foot forward.
Island Bedding has the biggest summer sale going on right now. Special. Comforters, mattress pads, sheets, toppers, and best of all, mattress. 35% off, 45% off, 50% off. Oh my goodness! Special, people!
Grand Bahama, get ready for the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture Youth March and Rally Sunday, October 23rd from Martintown to St. Stephen's Park, 8 Mile Rock. Lineup begins at 3 p.m. Come one, come all. Have the following supplies on hand at the start of the hurricane season. A minimum 3-day supply of water, which provides 1 gallon of water per person per day. Minimum 3-day supply of non-perishable food items. Flashlights and extra batteries. A battery-powered radio to receive broadcasts that will keep you informed of the storm. A first aid kit. A 7-day supply of any prescribed medication. Don't be caught off guard this hurricane season. Be prepared.
They try to push rich on me. They want to push rich on me. They don't care if I'm not company.
The King of the North is back. Howard 104.5 FM.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Roll, you are our Facebook friend of the night. We also want to wish you a very happy birthday and well wishes on another year around the sun. I also want to send a special shout out to one of our amazing cameramen here in the North, Mr. Quentin Gordon, who is very entertaining in the studio tonight. But that's going to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of the entire ZNS News team, I'm Simone Davis. Be sure to stay tuned as the Bahamas Tonight continues.
What you see on this television station is governed by IRCA's Code of Practice for Content Regulation. The Code of Practice covers matters relating to program content that are of concern to the community, such as local content, news, current affairs, and programs for children, advertising, including political advertisements, and the responsibilities associated with broadcasting in the Bahamas. The code also covers aspects such as access services for the hearing and visually impaired, and the procedure for lodging a complaint about anything broadcasted by this television station. The code is available on IRCA's website at www.ircabahamas.bs. To receive a copy of the code by mail or in person, you may telephone IRCA at 242-393-0234. From Stanley Island dialing is toll-free at 242-300-8722. Or you may send a request by email to info@irkabahamas.bs.
Nobody can talk about your business or a special event like you can. Do you want a way to bring your message to a large audience? You need a live ZNS radio interview. 5 minutes of airtime to let listeners know directly from you all about your company, product, or upcoming event. And now, for a limited time only, get 5 interviews for 25% off or 10 interviews for 35% off. Call the ZNS sales office today, 502-3800, and get on the radio.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the National Report, 45 years of television celebrated. Tourism poised for banner year. The Anglican bishop takes on a divisive issue. The Bahamas tonight, the National Report starts now.
ZNS News is linked up by BTC. Whether it's chatting, gaming, content creating, or working smart to get things done, link up to stay connected with BTC.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Akush Lapindo with the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks for tuning in. Tonight, joining us as part of our 45th anniversary in television is veteran journalist and broadcaster Michelle Malcolm. Michelle, welcome back to the Bahamas Tonight and on the news desk. Nearly 44 decades, if my numbers are correct, in this business.
Yeah.
That's a whole lot of stories you would have covered over those years. Any leaving a lasting impression, or any 1, 2, 3 you could pick out?
Well, you know, I did 20 years here at the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, and over those 20 years, amazing. I couldn't pick quite one. I was honored to cover several prime ministers, you know, just had an amazing opportunity to travel around the world. But I would say one of the highlights for me was the opportunity to interview Nelson Mandela, a moment I won't soon forget.
Well, there you have it from our Michelle Malcolm, and it's an honor to certainly have you join me on the news desk this evening.
I've been admiring your work. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much. We turn now to our top story. Legislation has been drafted, but up to this point, there's no indication when the so-called marital rape bill will make its way to Parliament. But whenever it does, the government has the backing of a leading figure in the religious community who reasons that amending the law is a simple and no-brainer step in the pursuit of justice and basic human right for all. Mention the words marital rape and the conversation easily swings hard to the left or the right, a clearly divisive issue that has taken on even more steam in recent months. The argument for some, how can rape even exist within a marriage? For others, rape is rape, even within the marital home. But if ever the government was counting on support from key figures in the religious community ahead of bringing legislation to the House of Assembly, it is founded in Bishop of Anglican Church here in New Providence and the Turks and Caicos Islands, Right Reverend Leish Boyd, who tackled the issue head-on Wednesday evening during his charge to the opening session of the 119th Anglican Synod.
Proposed amendments to the Sexual Offences Act, so that wherever rape happens, it is called rape.
The bishop making it clear that rape is not an act of love by any stretch of the imagination.
No person, whether single or married, should be subject to degrading and violent behavior. Married persons, you could clap, you could clap. Married persons should not lose their right simply because they are married. Marriage is a sacrament before God, where persons covenant to love and protect each other until death. Rape is not love or protection.
Instead, a spouse, he says, is entitled to the control of his or her body and should only willingly give it when he or she wishes.
If there is a problem with a spouse being willing to give consent, then there is a fundamental concern with the marriage itself, and the parties should seek spiritual and professional help. However, in the absence of a serious issue in the marriage, a spouse should be able to give consent a spouse should be able to give consent each time that the parties have sexual relations. If the sex is taken without that consent, then it is rape.
Now, Bishop Boyd acknowledges the whole issue of marital rape is a difficult, sensitive and delicate issue, but one, he says, that must be addressed in the public forum responsibly and with ample dialogue.
Well, meantime, Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, the Honourable Philip Davis, is easing the minds of women's groups following Press Secretary Clint Watson's recent comments that they've been silent on the whole issue of marital rape. In a release Wednesday, the Prime Minister noted that he's met with representatives from Women United, Women of Strength Association, the Bahamas Urban Youth Development Center, Everyone Counts Organization, Women Investments Group, Delta Sigma Theta Sorority, and Aaron Brown Connects to discuss Watson's comments. Prime Minister Davis assured they understood and accepted that those comments were made in error. Watson has since publicly apologized. The Prime Minister says his press secretary was misinformed about the extent of the consultation, and he has set the record straight. The Prime Minister ended his statement declaring that marital rape is an issue the Bahamas has been grappling with for a long time, and the work to build progress on this and on other difficult issues require all of society to engage in continued consultation and dialogue. Well, in other news, inflation hits a local brewery, Commonwealth Brewery, announcing an impending price increase in product cost. The CBL explaining in a release that this is due to rising costs associated with raw and packing materials, energy and logistics, closely linked to global supply chain shortages. Now, despite ever-changing market conditions, the company says it continues to explore options to further mitigate the impact of its customers and consumers. At the same time, it's actively studying market trends and exploring opportunities to expand its portfolio by introducing innovations into the local market.
The rebound continues for the country's tourism sector. The Minister of Tourism giving details on that and plans for a number of developments coming down the pipeline for the island of Exuma. Cleopatra Murphy has the story.
The Bahamas is on pace to surpass 2019's record-breaking 7.5 million tourist arrivals by the end of the year. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honourable Chester Cooper, predicting as much during his address to the 2022 Exuma Business Outlook Thursday morning, after what he says has been a strong year for the top industry and a strong September, typically a slow month for the sector.
In 2019, more than 70,000 visitors spent time in Exuma. As at August, we've attracted 57,000, which is roughly 22% more than 2019 level, which was a record-setting year. Exuma is truly a success story in the business of tourism.
The island's Member of Parliament says based on trends, Exuma can fill 2 times the available hotel rooms. On the investment front, government has attracted more than $1.2 billion in investment for the island, among them a more than $150 million resort, airport and marina on one of the keys, and has secured the acquisition of the 58-acre Rokers Point estate.
That project will consist of at least 50 residences and 65 boat slips adjacent to the residences. Phase 1 of the project is expected to begin early next year and will take 4 years to complete. Overall, that will mean an investment of more than $260 million.
As the minister tells it, another of those projects, a nearly $550 million luxury mixed-use resort, residences and marina, has been approved for Cave Key. But with the developments comes the needs for a state-of-the-art airport.
Work resumes on the Exuma International Airport this month. And we're in the final stages of organizing funding from a public-private partnership to ensure the ongoing development of the airside as well as the landside works for this world-class airport.
Cooper says improved healthcare facilities will also be needed, something he says is being worked on. On the infrastructural side, the Minister of Tourism says 7 miles of roadworks have already been completed, with a total of 12 miles set to be completed before Christmas. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
Tourism officials and the Minister for Grand Bahama continuing to tout the message that Grand Bahama is open for business during a 3-day tour in North Carolina. An official sister cities agreement signed today between the city of Concord and the island of Grand Bahama. Meanwhile, the promotion of the Ministry of Tourism's global sales mission continues. Azira Quant is traveling with the team.
Grand Bahama can now call the city of Concord here in North Carolina sister. Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, and Mayor for the city of Concord, William Dush, officially signing the sister city agreement today, binding together a partnership to foster opportunities to residents in both cities. It is an agreement between two cities that connect and liaise for business, cultural, educational, and humanitarian exchange. Minister Moxie noting that the journey to this official agreement was formed in 2014, and now the day has come where both cities can lean on each other to further their mission of revitalizing and expanding.
We're so excited because there's so many things that we see happening from it. We visited the Charlotte Motor Speedway, where it's the home of NASCAR. We know that we had race car driving on Grand Bahama back in the day, and so we look to see some revived form of race car driving on Grand Bahama Island. There's so many opportunities for exchanges with educational institutes like BTVI, technology transfer, best practices, and so we're looking to see how we partner on a number of areas to ensure that Grand Bahama Island benefits and Concord as well.
Meanwhile, Minister Moxie says the mayors of any city in such agreement serves as the connectors for what needs to be done. Mayor Dutch says his city, Concord, is working diligently and it will be of interest to residents on Grand Bahama and the same for residents in Concord.
We're really looking forward to bringing and strengthening the relationship, doing some training up here, doing exchange of programs, exchange of staff going back and forth. We would love to have them come up and visit us, come up for the races, come up to see what we have going on up here. It's a beautiful area of the world.
This is Chief Meteorologist Basil Dane with a tropical weather update brought to you by BTC and CBS Bahamas. A couple of tropical waves continue to propagate from east to west across the Atlantic belt, but atmospheric conditions remains unfavorable for development due to the presence of that Sahara that's in the far eastern Atlantic and this strong upper level westerly which is flowing across the tropical belt. Hence, tropical cyclone development is not anticipated over the next 5 days. This has been a tropical weather update brought to you by BTC and CBS Bahamas.
Well, the Bahamas Tonight continues after the break.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
It has the looks, the style, the performance. Your new car is everything you always dreamed of. Now it's here. Commonwealth Bank was happy to help put you behind the wheel with a new car loan at a competitive rate and fast, friendly approval. It's a service that just comes naturally to us, just like how love of tradition comes naturally to you. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
We just got the new fiber internet speed bump. Now my internet so fast I can watch 2 4K movies, play video games, and browse with my computer at the same time.
Yeah, my internet so fast I could download a whole season of shows before my noodles run cooking.
Mine so fast when I go to church online, service actually over early.
Mine so fast when I'm working from home, 5 o'clock, come before 3.
Sound like you got this BTC fiber internet speed bump like me.
But it's so fast, I had to have it.
Current fiber internet bundle customers now have as much as 3 times the speed. Totally free. Link up with BTC.
Mealtime rules. Don't serve yourself first. Do not eat with your mouth open. Don't rest your elbows on the table. Don't make noise when eating. Does not apply when enjoying KFC buckets. When we bucket together, we are as we really are.
Shopping online isn't new to the market, but gaining access to affordable healthcare products at the click of a button is the greatest customer experience. Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies Limited gives access to a complete customer journey, from shopping in our retail store on 9th Terrace, Centerville, to shopping online at your convenience from work or from the comfort of your home. Offering delivery and pickup options. Remember, if it's healthcare, it's here. Shop online today.
You watch them grow and make plans for them even before they're old enough to talk. You spend a lifetime of sacrifice to pave the way for their success and create a tomorrow you too can be proud of. Can you tell who is the investor? At Leno, we believe everyone who has ever put a penny aside for a future dream is an investor. If you're new to investing, Leno's financial experts stand ready to design plans based on your goals. Let's sit down and explore the options one-on-one and see how, together, we can make your dreams come true. Whether considering traditional investments like a new home, car, your own business, security in retirement, or your child's college fund, we take the confusion out of the process and make an investor out of you. Call 396-3225 for an appointment. Leno, your bridge to the future.
Coalition of Independence leader Lincoln Bain, along with several of his members, have been released on bail after pleading not guilty to a slew of charges before a magistrate today. Among them, unlawful assembly, assault, disorderly behavior, obstruction, and resisting arrest. The charges stem from that clash in the city center yesterday between Bain and the police. Bain says he was presenting parliamentarians with an immigration draft bill. However, officers asked him to move from the area as it was an unlawful assembly. Supporters gathered outside the courts and greeted Bain and the others after they were released on a $1,500 bond. The group returns to court in December. Police are looking into reports of alleged assaults with a deadly weapon on Tuesday. The incident reportedly unfolding around 11:40 a.m. Police say 2 men got into an altercation in eastern New Providence. One of them allegedly pulled out a firearm while making threatening remarks toward the other. The incident involving a 6-year-old girl, the second that is, who was approached and chased by a dark male allegedly armed with a knife. The child was able to evade the suspect, who said to have fled the area in a dark-colored vehicle. Now, according to police reports, the incident occurred after school was dismissed. The incident prompting authorities to issue an appeal to parents and guardians to collect their child or children immediately following school or as soon as possible. Parents are also reminded to instill in their children not to talk or take anything from strangers.
The insurance industry in the Bahamas is under review. Commissioners responsible for the sector meeting privately this week to review the guidelines, policies, and practices towards ensuring a level playing field between customers and companies. Carla Palmer reports.
They are small in number but influential in status. As their work is monumental to the sector, they have been charged with leading the insurance industry in the Bahamas.
Our main role is to look out for the policyholder interest, and that is something that we take very seriously.
Michelle Fields is superintendent of the Insurance Commission of the Bahamas, along with a group of approximately 6 others, responsible for ensuring regulations of the sector are upheld.
That means that we have oversight of insurance companies, insurance intermediaries, which includes agents, brokers, salespersons, and we also look out for the policyholder interest.
The group met behind closed doors at Bahama on Wednesday, meeting privately in a retreat as they reviewed the present performance of the zone and strategized the way forward.
What we see is that the insurance market, the volume of insurance is pretty stable. I wouldn't say that it's more or less. Obviously, it is something that people have to assess when they look at their own personal budgets. But I think that there's some categories of insurance that are mandatory. People who have mortgages generally have to have insurance for their mortgage cover. Obviously, motor vehicle insurance is something that is mandatory, and so those classes are quite stable.
Although stable now, Fields notes the cost of insurance is driven by the international market and is always likely to see more increased spending by customers, primarily following potentially catastrophic events like a hurricane.
We go through cycles, and so you have what you call, at the moment we have a hard market, which means that the prices are quite hard. It's difficult to stabilize at the moment. Will they ever? We hope so. I really can't say that they will be, but there are periods where when when we have a soft market and there's more competition in the market, you will see prices being more stable.
While encouraging residents to purchase insurance if needed, Fields is also advising that you read your contract thoroughly before signing. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Carla Palmer.
In other news, a new agreement inked for countries throughout the region to work collectively to mitigate the effects of climate change on potable water. Stakeholders also working together to lessen the loss from non-revenue water. Our Lloyd Allen has more from the Caribbean Water and Waste Conference press briefing recently held at the Atlantis Resort, Paradise Island.
The 2-day Caribbean Water and Wastewater Management Conference recently held at the Atlantis Resort has concluded. However, during a special press briefing, ministers from several regional partners have concluded that financing remains a major challenge as water loss remains a major issue throughout the region.
It was a very successful conference which culminated in a statement of acknowledgement as we deal with our aging infrastructure relating to water and waste management.
Public Works Minister, the Honorable Alfred Sayers, highlighting the value in collaboration throughout the region as countries face increasing risks from climate change and varied phenomena in nature.
This is an opportunity for our region to be nimble, to be innovative, so that we have a more prosperous future in facing climate change, facing rising cost of fuel, and utilizing the resources we have, which is sustainable, renewable, and I feel very optimistic.
A number of countries sitting at the table sharing concerns, including Guyana, St. Kitts and Nevis, Trinidad and Tobago, St. Martin, Eustatius, and the Turks and Caicos Islands.
Guyana has about 60 to 65% of non-revenue water, so we have a lot of work yet to bring this down.
In St. Kitts and Nevis, 70% of our water comes from groundwater and another 30% from surface water. St. Kitts traditionally has always felt that it had almost unlimited water resources. However, with economic development, with expansion in the housing sector, business sector, and hotels, our aquifers are now under severe strain.
One of the main challenges we face in St. Martin is our landfill issues.
One of the challenges we face is the small scale of our island and the lack of the local expertise.
But as those issues were raised, Hope is on the horizon as the conference delegates have agreed in principle to work in unison. Meantime, with the question of financing hovering over regional development, Sayers notes lobbying on the international front remains paramount, along with the use of multilateral tools like carbon credits.
While we are pushing for justice by those countries who have created this problem, we're also looking within ourselves to utilize our resources in a much more creative, much more efficient manner.
And as representatives prepare to return to their home countries with renewed hope on methods of non-revenue water utilization, treatment, and upgrades, the hope is to collectively raise the bar regionally in the face of climate change. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen.
Minister of Health and Wellness, the Honorable Dr. Michael Darville, is winding down his visit to Havana, Cuba, where he leads a delegation to the 2022 convention and associated trade fairs. The contingent participated in high-level sessions featuring discussions regarding a national kidney transplant program, non-communicable diseases community clinic programs, and biomedical engineering resources and personnel. Minister Darville also met with Cuba's Vice Minister of Public Health, visited a polyclinic, and hosted a dinner for Bahamian medical students and healthcare professionals living in Cuba. The delegation returns home on Friday. Well, now time for our weekly poll question, and for those of you who haven't participated just yet, you still have time to do so. Here's how it works. Listen in for the question and then log on to our website, and that's www.znesbahamas.com, as well as any of our social media platforms to answer. That's all it takes. This week's question: how often should minimum wage be increased here in the Bahamas? A, every 3 years, B, every 5 years, or C, every 10 years. The poll's final results will be aired on Friday, and as always, thanks for participating.
You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Stay with us.
We just got the new fiber internet speed bump. Now my internet so fast I can watch 2 4K movies, play video games, and browse on my computer at the same time.
Yeah, my internet so fast I could download a whole season of shows before my noodles run cooking.
Mine so fast, when I go to church online, service actually over early.
Mine so fast, when I'm working from home, 5 o'clock, come before 3.
Sound like you got this BTC fiber internet speed bump like me.
But it's so fast, I had to have it.
Current fiber internet bundle customers now have as much as 3 times the speed. Totally free. Link up with BTC.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance. Peace of mind.
At Solomon's, we're all about family. We believe in quality brands and giving you what you need and more for every occasion. Our store is filled with items for the entire family, celebrating everyday living for you and those you love. Shopping is now more rewarding than ever with My Solomon's Smart Rewards. Shop Solomon's because family matters.
When you want to save money on your tile supplies, who you gonna call? The Tile King. When you tile your house and you want to look good, who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Visit the new Tile King showroom, which is internationally recognized as the finest tile showroom in the Caribbean, located in the Builders Mall on Wolf Road.
The Tile King. Who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Tiles on everything.
A household name carries a lot of approval. And when you're shopping for household, you need a household name. For 50 years, Bahamas Welding and Fire has been a household name in outdoor grills and kitchen appliances. Need to beautify that yard space for your grill? BWF has it covered. For the industrial worker, you can find a complete line of tools and safety equipment. For the welder of any level or budget, you can find the right machinery to power everything. There's no shortage on power with a wide array of generators, and safety is everyone's responsibility. Find everything needed to protect everyone on the worksite. Over 40,000 square feet of shopping space in a convenient location. Bahamas Welding and Fire. We're more than just our name. Located number 13 Wilton Street.
When you combine decadence, luxury, passion, and attention to detail, you've described Café Channy Noël and Patisserie. Signature authentic French macarons, croissants, pastries for breakfast and lunch will take you on a European Epicurean journey. Enjoy your favorite handcrafted cocktails, coffees, cappuccinos, espressos, and lattes. Life is sweet at Café Channy Noël.
Well, Michelle and I were talking off camera in terms of how she got started here at the Broadcasting Corporation. Let the public in on what that was like.
Well, I studied broadcast journalism in college and graduated, came back. There's only one station at the time, and so I applied to ZNS, and they took months to hire me. They finally did about 6 months later, and I started at the beginning of the following year, and started as a junior reporter, and had a great 20-year run.
Well, speaking of time at ZNS, we're celebrating, as noted, 45 years of television broadcasting and growing strong. The Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas officially celebrating this significant milestone today with a special ceremony and cake cutting hosting executives, staff, and friends of ZNS. Lloyd Allen has more.
This is not just a ZNS celebration today, folks. On this day, October 20th, 1977, the 45th anniversary of continuous broadcasting in the Bahamas. It's a celebration for our entire industry.
Acting General Manager Andrew Burrows sharing during the official ceremony held at BCB headquarters Thursday that after 45 years, the goal remains on raising the bar and providing locals with the best in broadcasting. Similar sentiments also in from Executive Chairman Paiswell Forbes, who has come up the ranks from his early days as a radio announcer.
The Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas has unquestionably led the way in television broadcasting, producing programs, and have led the way in having standards for others to follow later in this marketplace.
Sitting in for the Honorable Miles LaRota, the minister responsible for ZNS, is State Minister of Legal Affairs, the Honorable Jomo Campbell, who noted that after 45 years, value and relevance have remained a part of the secret sauce for ZNS.
We have come a long way since the 20th of October, 1977, when the late Queen Elizabeth II officially commissioned ZNS TV 13 during one of her visits to Commonwealth countries. You have grown by leaps and bounds over the last 45 years, introducing high-definition television and erecting new and more powerful transmission tower at Harold Pond within the last 10 years under the leadership of GM Swan, Chairman Thompson, and Minister Nordich. You remain committed to using the latest in communications technology to educate, entertain, and inform the Bahamian public. I always wanted to say that.
As the corporation celebrates this milestone, a new logo has also been unveiled to usher the company into the future. The ceremony also culminating with a spotlight on a significant community figure, Bishop Lawrence Roll, receiving a plaque from the executive team and gracing attendees with a special performance to commemorate the milestone.
He got you loose like a goose. That is good. Hey, you loose like a goose. Man, you're loose like a goose. Hey, you're loose like a goose. Like a goose. You loose like a goose. Loose like a goose. Say you loose like a goose.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen.
A lot of familiar faces there. Celebrations continue here at ZNS in recognition of the BCB's 45th anniversary of broadcast television in the Bahamas. The hierarchy of the corporation, along with board members, paying a courtesy call today on His Excellency, the Governor General, Sir Cornelius Smith. Leading the ZNS team was Executive Chairman of the BCB, Mr. Picewell Forbes. In addition to exchanging pleasantries, the two discussed ways to expand the corporation's programming reach to include every inhabited island of the Bahamas.
But also, he was very involved with us this morning. He wants to see ZNS also, with the month of volunteerism coming up in November, being very much in the forefront of getting the information out to the people so that our people could feel a part of what's happening, not only here in New Providence and Grand Bahama, but in our family islands where the Governor General Youth Program, the Zonta Club, the Rotary Club, the Toastmasters, and all the other agencies and all the various social clubs can come together and create this new vibe in our society where we could be more about building than tearing down.
Forbes says while the mandate at ZNS remains to inform, educate, and entertain, the effort in each category will be heightened to reflect the revitalized thrust now underway. He says his immediate objective is to foster more inclusion by members of the public.
He wants to see stringers in the family islands once again. He wants ZNS to have a more of a presence in our family islands, and we totally concur. We told him we were in Exuma recently for looking out for a new facility in the Exumas and Abaco is next. Then we plan to have our stringers once again return in our family islands with our youth correspondent program also in the high school level, where we can have a young person maybe at the South Andros High School, my alma mater, or Bahamas Academy here in New Providence, or maybe NJ Major in Long Island, or San Salvador High School, or maybe Old Bad High School, for example, where they can be a part of our program, have a feeder program, as you know, Carla, where when these persons would have completed high school, go on to college, they'll feel a part of that process, and we'll have fledgling reporters for the years to come as a part of the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas initiative going forward.
Well, they say the journey of 1,000 miles starts with a footstep, and for Ilka Rogers and Robert Johnson, their road into broadcast at ZNS is similar. For Ilka, it was embracing a chance opportunity at Junkanoo, while for Robert, it was about flipping the page to the next chapter from one station to another. As our Lloyd Allen shares in this next special anniversary feature, these two have established a strong foundation at ZNS in the programming department.
I was at Boxing Day Junkanoo, and I saw Vaughn Albury doing his Junkanoo coverage, and I always wanted to intern at ZNS. So I took the risk. I jumped over the barricade, and I ran up to him, and I told him what I was studying at the time, and that I really wanted to intern at ZNS.
I was at a wedding at the Hilton. Downtown, you know, Jones is on East Street. You know what? So after taking the group photos for the reception, I ran in my tuxedo and my rented shoes from the Hilton straight to Jones Communications to press one button to put the station back on there. That was how I remember making up my mind that I wanted to go to the next level in broadcasting.
For Ilka, it's been 4 years, and for Robert, 9 years since starting their careers at ZNS. The two say their experience is rooted in growth and sharing, showcasing unique skills over the years, not only in shooting content, but also in program development, editing, and reliability.
I became the go-to guy for getting stuff done quickly.
Well, working in programming, you become a bit of a hybrid because you're involved in every aspect of production. That is pre-production, production, the filming aspect of it, and post-production, as well as a bit of the graphics element, which is post-production.
The two share on how they refine their skills.
I look at BBC, I look at Al Jazeera and MSNBC, and I use that as a benchmark and as a goal.
I am attached to Ordinary People. It is one of the most consistent TV shows from season to season on ZNS TV, and people recognize Beverly, and they say Beverly's cameraman and Beverly's cameraman, you know. So that's something I take great pride in.
Now, while some may see the two as newbies to the team at the Big Z, their hope remains high to see BCB and ZNS by extension reach its zenith.
I am most hopeful for ZNS to reach young people where they are, getting the content to the people where it is on their cell phones, on their tablets, the laptops, etc. I feel like we could go to the next level quicker that way. I see us diversifying more in terms of our programming, not just documentaries, but television programs that reach all audiences, whether that be millennials, Gen Z, and even our older generation.
Celebrating 45 years in television for the Bahamas tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen.
Well, from one marked moment to another, the Bahamas solidifying its position as the region's digital financial hub by hosting a global Fintech and Web3 festival next year. The government and the Securities Commission will spearhead the event branded as D3 Bahamas, that's centralized, digital, and disruptive, by hosting more than 3,000 industry leaders from the Americas, Middle East, Europe, and Asia at the Atlantis Paradise Island Resort, January 24th through the 26th, 2023. The festival will help shape global, regional, and industry agendas in fintech, including Web3, digital crypto assets, decentralized finance, central bank digital currencies, green finance, and more. The D3 Bahamas FinTech Festival comprises 5 tracks: Regulatory Showcase, Venture Capital Forum, $1 Million Pitch, Bahamas Spotlight, and Networking. Finoverse, which has organized Hong Kong's FinTech Week since 2015, is D3 Bahamas' official event organizer.
As we head to the break, we'd like to send a shout out to our viewers watching us live on our social media platforms. And just in case you tuned in late, you can always head there to catch up. Stay with us. There's more after the break.
Having a policy with Bahama Health is more than just health insurance. It's about feeling good knowing that your health and wellness is covered. It's about the confidence you feel knowing that your card is accepted by over 50 pharmacies and 400 local doctors. It's about peace of mind, knowing that when you travel, you have comprehensive coverage and our overseas partner is just a phone call away. It's about the security you feel, knowing that you're an important part of the family.
Join the family. Good to grow. Keeping you in the know. Keeping you in the know. God, it's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow. It's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow.
The Agricultural Development Organization and the Church Commercial Farming Group is continuing its efforts towards food security. Recently, the groups distributed 100 of its 5,000 backyard farming kits to 25 high school students and 70 applicants from the general public. Minister of Agriculture, Marine Resources, and Family Island Affairs, Clay Sweeting, endorsed the work of the groups.
And the food that we grow will help to nourish countless families. ADO and the Church Community Farming Group are assisting in bringing about the change we need to feed our people. So we must be fearless in our efforts to plant the seeds, to tend to them, and to reap the benefits of our rewards. We have to grow a healthier nation. Distribution of these backyard farming kits can benefit schools, churches, neighborhoods, and the wider community.
ADO Chairman Philip Smith says he believes that this initiative is encouraging Bahamians to feed themselves for a lifetime.
This is very exciting, and I think this can go a long way with totally eradicating hunger, persons that are food insecure, and that is why we have practically all of the major feeding organizations involved.
Mr. Smith added that ADO's goal is to distribute 50,000 backyard farming kits within the next 3 years. Keeping you in the know with Good to Grow, I'm Kentia Smith.
Welcome to the Global Learning Exchange. We're partnering with BIBT to bring opportunities for higher education to the Bahamas. Earn your degree from a university in the U.S. right here at home. Visit us online to learn more.
Shell Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals, and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
Are you a contractor or new homeowner? Maybe you need a few pieces of lumber for your DIY projects. Welcome to Capital Lumber, the newest building materials company in the Bahamas. Located on Parkgate Road, Nassau, helping you to maximize your savings on lumber, cement, shingles, tools, and much more. Your one-stop shop for all your building essentials. With free delivery to the mail booth. Visit us today. Capital Lumber. Build strong.
AID has everything you need and more to complement your home's decor. Luxurious bamboo bath towels, face towels from $1.25 and bath towels from $5.45. Shower curtains from $2.54 and organizers in stylish finishes. Bath mat sets from $7.27 in a multitude of styles and colors. Bed sheet sets from $9.95 and 7-piece comforter sets from $49.95. Doormats from $1.93 with matching runners and hundreds of area carpets. Sofa covers from $19.95, plain and crushed sheer curtains from $5.25 and thousands of panels to choose from. Blinds from $7.02 and curtain rods from $2.89. Ceramic and porcelain dishes, tablecloths, napkins, placemats, utensils, and more. A wide selection of drinking glasses, including elegant stemware, candle holders, vases, and crystal. Full-size mirrors, decorative pictures, and picture frames. AID, Wolf Road, and the Mall at Marathon open late and on Sundays to serve your decorating needs. AID, all you really need and more.
Teamwork definitely makes the dream work. Parks and Beaches, Bahamar, and Goldwyn are a perfect fit aligned to produce a state-of-the-art park at Goodlands Bay. Ongoing discussions will produce the results that Bahamians and visitors have waited for and will enjoy for many decades to come. Our redevelopment will include the complete renovation of the landscaping, lighting, parking, vendoring, recreational areas, playground and security surveillance, beach cleaning machines, park wardens, and lifeguards, just to name a few. We are proud of our new way of thinking and will produce new results Bahamians are demanding.
Samantha's always on point. She doesn't miss a thing. When she signs up for any insurance policy, she reads all the fine print. She knows what's covered, what's not covered, and she's aware of her deductibles. When it comes to insurance, it pays to know your policy. Review every insurance policy so you know what you're covered for. This message was brought to you by the Insurance Commission of the Bahamas.
Link up with BTC and call it one and done. Link up with BTC and call it one and done.
I'm Corbell Pyfrom. BTC's new CEO, Samir Bhatti, is committed to meeting as many of our team members and customers as possible. Since coming to office a month ago, Samir has embarked on an extensive listening tour through the length and breadth of the country. His latest stop, the beautiful island of Exuma.
Everybody's embracing one BTC, the culture that we're moving on together, starting with the growth mindset, teamwork, transparency, customer first, and follow through. And we had very transparent conversations with our staff here, and that's the purpose why we're here, is to listen. And we also listened to community leaders and local government officials and heard their voices.
Mr. Bhatti has a wonderful open door policy. He listened to our concerns, especially my concerns, and he hit the ground running. He's ready to go, and I feel like he's ready to take the company in a great direction.
You know, to me, he has this open door philosophy, and, you know, that's something you need. You see him like a guy that you can go to with any concerns and question, and he welcomes it. You know, so we're very grateful that he came here. We have some people from the local community that also had their concerns, and, it was all welcome. All welcome.
I really feel if there's one dimension on our one BTC that I'm walking away with, it's the transparency, beginning with our team on the ground here, and also with the members of the community.
By listening to as many of our team members as possible, Samir believes this will significantly improve our overall service to our customers, ensuring that we continue to make more of the moments that move us. I'm Corbell Pyfrom. Be well and be back here next. BTC Connection.
Education stakeholders, may I have your attention, please? The Bahamas High School Diploma Review Commission's Town Hall meeting, held at Queens College, will air on ZNS TV on Thursday, October 20th, 2022 at 9 p.m. Join us to stay up to date on valuable information and timely discussion.
Aztec Airways flying into Chubb and Great Harbor Keys in the Berry Islands starting next month, November 14th to be exact, with 2 flights per week. Aztec officials acknowledge the Great Harbor Key service will coincide with the imminent opening of the island's highly anticipated new airport, set to be completed by the end of this year. Travelers can now fly non-stop from Florida to Great Harbor on Aztec and Tropic Ocean Airways, which has long served the Key with regularly scheduled service. Well, the Ministry of Education and Technical and Vocational Training ironing out concerns raised at the R.N. Gomez Comprehensive School in the Berry Islands about educators there. The ministry has deployed 3 additional teachers for language, religious knowledge, and physical education to fill in for teachers who declined to take up the posts. Efforts are also being made to appoint a music teacher. Education officials maintain these recent appointments will result in an adequate supply of teachers to deliver a quality education to Berry Island students. Now, as it relates to support staff to fill posts in some instances left vacant for 5 years at that school, officers are in the process of being employed through the public service.
Well, it's time now for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Basil.
Good evening, Michelle. What a wonderful surprise. Good to have you in the house this evening, and as usual, it's a pleasure to see you.
Just like all time.
Cloudy skies outside of our studios. Temperature-wise, we're at 82 degrees. The relative humidity, 75%. North-northeast winds at 6 miles per hour. The barometric pressure, 1,012.3 millibars. That is 29.89 inches, and the pressure is steady. Temperatures around the Family of Islands this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 77 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, and Greentoll Key in Abaco. Marshall, Abaco at 76 degrees. The Berry Islands, 78. Allenstown, Bimini, 79. 80 degrees in Harbor Island, Roxanne, Luther, 82. Black Point, Exuma, and Kemps Bay, St. Andrews at 81 degrees. Fresh Creek, Central Andrews at 79 degrees. 82s in Otterstown, Cat Island, San Salvador, and Rum Key, Georgetown, Exuma, 84 degrees. 84s in Ragged Island, Cloudstown, Long Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay, Maguana, 86. Acklands, 86. Also Matitani, Nagua, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 86 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Center in the Northwestern Islands. Tonight through tomorrow, northerly flow 10 to 15 knots. Those wave heights not too bad, 2 to 4 feet over the ocean. Low tide 11:25 tonight. Another low tide at 11:35 tomorrow morning. In the Central and Southeastern Islands through Friday, light and variable winds with flat seas over the ocean. As we take you into Saturday, the winds become more northeasterly at 10 to 15 knots. Wave heights unchanged at 2 to 4 feet. High tide on Saturday takes place at 6:10 in the morning with a low tide at 12:23 in the afternoon. For the Central and Southeastern Islands Saturday, light and variable winds once again with flat seas. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
Come back with a kicky, you say mosquito do that. Conchita, that ain't no mosquito. It was something bigger, girl like smell a rat. Something just ain't right.
By Royal Star Assurance, but stay tuned. The extended weather forecast is still ahead.
Something just ain't right.
Opa!
CFO at this young age, it really is very fulfilling to me, and it really shows that the hard work, the hours that I put in my career, they really paid off. Having such young persons in such a key role really shows that the board of directors have a lot of trust in the leadership of the young people. Being committed to excellence means that you put all of your effort into whatever it is you're doing to get the best benefit out of that task or anything you're doing in life.
Hey, it's your honorary pump attendant here to educate you on the do's and don'ts at the service station. Here's what you don't do. Do not pull up from the pump without first checking that the nozzle has been removed from your car. Because if you pop this, that's about $600,000 to $30,000 to replace. These things ain't cheap. What you want to do is make sure that the nozzle has been removed, or just wait for the universal sign, which is the double tap.
Let this week's specials put a smile back on your face at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Rainbow corned beef, 12 ounce, $2.49. 123 cooking oil, 33.8 ounce, $4.19. Gatorade drinks, 64 ounce, 2 for $6.49. Center cut pork chops, $2.99 per pound. Fresh limes, 3 for 99 cents. Donate your change to help feed the Humane Society animals at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
We just got the new fiber internet speed bump. Now my internet so fast I can watch 2 4K movies, play video games, and browse on my computer at the same time.
Yeah, my internet so fast, I could download a whole season of shows before my noodles done cooking.
Mine so fast, when I go to church online, service actually over early.
Mine so fast, when I'm working from home, 5 o'clock, come before 3.
Sound like you got this BTC fiber internet speed bump like me.
And it's so fast, I had to have it.
Current fiber internet bundle customers now have as much as 3 times the speed. Totally free. Link up with BTC.
Mario thought he could have his cake and eat it too. He almost found out the hard way that if you don't insure your home for the full replacement value, when it comes time to make a claim, you won't get the full payout. It's called the condition of average. If your $200,000 home is destroyed by a hurricane, but you only insured it for $100,000, half the value, you'll only get half of that $100,000 payout. Actually, less than that, because there's also a deductible which will be deducted from your payout. Check your home insurance policy for the condition of average clause and ask your insurance agent or broker how condition of average would affect you. This message was brought to you by the Insurance Commission of the Bahamas, protecting the interests of policyholders.
Make your company representative stand out through an embroidery design on your uniforms from Janae's Uniform Center, Chesapeake Road. Janae's utilizes the latest state-of-the-art embroidery technology to monogram large and small quantities of shirts, caps, bags, and other articles. If you don't already have a digitized logo, Janae's can design and digitize your idea and bring it to life. Then install the logo of your choice from their large selections of 27 stock colors of golf shirts in cotton or dry fit, caps, or workwear. Call 394-8385 or 6 or visit www.janaes.com.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, satellite pictures showing that slow-moving frontal system now in the central Bahamas will continue to push towards the south and east, so we'll see a bit of clearing over the northwest Bahamas over the next couple of days. Our forecast for tonight calls for cloudy, becoming partly cloudy, with a passing shower still possible. Low temperature tonight, 73 degrees. And tomorrow, we're looking at mostly cloudy conditions, 83 degrees for your high temperature, and the extended weather forecast over the next 7 days. Things are going to start improving as of Saturday. We'll have some residual showers on Saturday morning, but by afternoon, things will start to improve. And as we head into Sunday, the skies open up, an abundance of sunshine taking us into the early part of next week. But most importantly, let's look at those temperatures. Daytime temperatures now in the low 80s, at least for the next couple of days before getting back into the mid 80s, and those nighttime temperatures at a comfortable level in the low 70s. Makishla?
Well, thanks, Basil. That does it for the Bahamas tonight. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. And before we leave, I want to tell you, Michelle, it has been an absolute honor to have you co-anchoring. Just as the case with Agnes and Debbie and even Matt, you all have been our mentors in the field and certainly in broadcasting. What's been your most memorable moment, if you want to share it with us before you leave?
Oh wow!
Here at ZNS.
My career.
Here at ZNS. Here at ZNS. We're gonna shave it down a little bit.
Well, we had a family atmosphere. We worked a lot of long hours, but we became a family, and it was truly a pleasure coming to work every day. Matter of fact, it didn't feel like work at all. Wow! In terms of the fondest memory, it was sort of an embarrassing moment, actually, when Phil Smith, the late Phil Smith, was quite a trickster and played an awful trick on me where he recorded me one afternoon eating lunch with no makeup on, and I didn't realize I was being recorded until I saw it live on air that night. I vowed to get him back, but I could never think of anything good enough.
Well, gang, thank you for joining us. I think you want to make some thank yous of your own.
Yes, I'd like to say thank you to my hairdresser, Sonia, from J.D. Edwards Salon in the Palmdale area for helping to, fix your sister girl up. Thank you so much, Sonia.
Well, thank you everyone for watching again, and good night.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.